In the American Southwest, there's an ancient village that holds some of the most unique signs I've ever seen. This story first began with an old friend of mine who gave me a clue that unlocked an ancient mystery. It was a photograph of a canyon entrance that he said holds some of the greatest ancient structures, pictographs, and carvings he had ever seen. But I've already made it partway through this canyon and uncovered signs that led me here, to this mysterious place. Join me as we go deeper into this canyon and explore the story and some of the mysteries that surrounds it. Good afternoon, everyone. It's episode 3 of the giveaway. I want to say congratulations to Barbara for winning last week's episode. I'm giving away one of these limited edition prints in my next 10 videos. This one is the 3rd episode in the giveaway. Here's what you do to enter the giveaway. I put a keyword in this video and you'll hear this sound when it pops up. You have to be subscribed to my channel and include the keyword in your comment. I'll pin the winner's comment on this video so you know if you won. Good luck. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. We have quite a day in front of us today. I'm really excited about this place and I want to thank you first of all for joining me on this adventure. Back to the bottom. This bluff up here. It's like walking along these edges, again, just looking, exploring. Oh, but see, I climbed up to be able to go over here, and now I look, there's another kind of a cave right over there that I've missed because I've climbed up on this ledge, so, a lot of up and downs. Okay, that's where I was headed, and look over here. Looks like a new destination now. Not sure I can get to it on this cliff edge, but I hope you don't get tired of seeing these things. I mean, look, another grinding slick, and there's my son Noah. We're headed right up here to, he's got a bug net on. After this rain, these bugs are everywhere. But climbing up here, let's look at this. You'll appreciate this. How about that? Some black and white pottery. Wow. Just one piece right there. Okay, just to give context where we're at, this is, right there's the structure. So we're just walking in right now. And this wall has petroglyphs all over it. This is great though, because would you say this depicts a pregnant woman? There's actually 2. This one here and then one above right there. So here's the pictograph panel, and right below, look at this. This is one of the largest pieces of pottery I have ever seen. And it's tucked right underneath this rock. Here's my, get my hand down here for, you see that? That's like a complete side of corrugated pottery right there. There's another piece right underneath that rock. So you can see very easily how they get broken. This site is essentially sensory overload. And now, honestly, it's everywhere I look. It is. I'm going to walk back around. I do not want to walk over the top of these. Certainly not going to carve my name as I see some people have. Such a great space, though. You're right up here. The canyon is below with the little stream, and then this little walkway we have. Just try to, again, I'm trying to keep everything in context. If you look up, alcove like this, overhang, walkway coming up here. Now this is just like it was. No restoration projects here, nothing like that. Just simply how they lived. Oh my. My. What is down here? Looks like a pile of rubble here, but this rock would have been in this location during that time. Look right down here. Another piece of corrugated. And then you can see how this rock wall was built attached to this stone here. So makes me think this was like this when they lived here and it wasn't a later cave-in. This was definitely like this when they lived here. It wasn't from a later cave-in, because see this big boulder and then this one? See how the wall is built right? This little pocket, there's an old piece of wood down in there. This has a little bit of a strange feeling to it, and I don't normally go by any type of feelings, but maybe it's these big rocks here. But see, like up on top of this one, there is a carving in the top of this boulder, and more of these sharpening, that's what I'm going to call them, areas. This one, yeah, this one up here has 4 or 5 of them on it, on that big slab. But now you step down into this lower cave area, and I just got to go in here and just see what I might be missing. I hate to laugh, but I don't. How strange! It's this giant pile of boulders in front of me. But down here in this cave, you see, if you look up this way, they use this as their dwelling down in here. And I don't know, I've heard that some of these places, the dead are buried. And that sure could be the case, because back in here, there's these little pockets that look like, I don't know if someone came along later and was digging in this area, but it definitely looks dug out to me. I don't know if this is artifact hunters. I've honestly never seen anything like this before in my life. This goes way back in. Oh, about stepped on that. Look there's a piece of corn. And right past that is a piece of pottery. Small little doorway here. This is only maybe, well, it could be 3 feet tall, maybe 2.5. Construction's really good on this. Here's something that I haven't seen before. Look at these pottery pieces. There's another and a third. Pottery pieces mixed in the mortar, I guess, to make it stronger. They used what they had. Okay, the little doorway I just mentioned earlier. Here's what a different perspective can do for you. Look at this. So I got to where the light is right. I'm just going to lean this over. Look at the amount of handprints and painting on this back wall. This entire area is completely painted. Carvings. Wow. Was that where a wall stood before? It looked very symmetrical for this little place here. Here is where I am at, and directly above me is the alcove that looks like it would have had some signs of the previous people here before me. Over to my right was the still intact ruin that had at least 3 rooms, and some pictographs on the wall behind it. I knew I had to find a way up there. I walked along the edge of this bluff looking for a way up, and I think I found it.
All right, I'm trying to just show you something right here. I think I can make it up of this. As a matter of fact, I know I can. It's extremely steep. It's maybe, 80-degree vertical climb, but there's all these little pockets that you can get your feet in. I know I can make it. To get up on top and walk this cliff down, but I'm 2 miles back in here, and I got great drone footage of it. And if I'm going to keep making videos like this, I can't do something completely stupid just for the sake of being able to say that I did it. So, yeah. And then I got to walk the edge all the way down to that upper dwelling, and of course it's doable, but I have more to explore on this trip, and I have my son with me, so we're not going to do it.
After I decided not to try and climb that steep bluff, my son was across the canyon in another alcove and said, which translates to, "Dad, have you seen the pictographs?" So here we go.
My son is up there right now, so I'm going to make a trip up this. It says there's some things up here that I'm going to want to see. All right. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Little larger handprint there. Some more. Oh, it's just covered again. If you look back across the canyon, you can see right over there is where the dwelling is. So in a different, as the day goes on, different type of weather over here. Get out of the sun. And you can see they had these little areas where they would sit, and they were grinding something here. All these are a little bit unique. I want to point something out here. I've seen a lot of grinding slicks, but in this area, you see where they've ground it here, but then there's this little hole down here at the bottom. Same with that one. If I back over here where I was earlier, same with this one. Huh. This is interesting. This rock has a lot of carved in places, but look at all these holes. I wonder what all these holes were from. Definitely man-made. So I'm sitting here looking on the ground, of course, and on the walls. And then I decide to look up. Now this is incredible. Look at this. It's this enormous natural arch, but there's a gap. And there's big stones ready to fall right there.
These hand pictographs were very unusual. Some call them spiral hands, not just a handprint where someone would paint their whole hand and then put their hand on the wall. These were finger painted. But why are they this way? Does it have a special meaning compared to the many handprints that I've seen before? It wasn't until I had explored this alcove and looked back across the canyon that I then spotted the Moki steps. So I decided to go back over and see how far I could make it. I only made it a few steps before I had to come down. Something inside me told me not to risk it. But now this has created a greater desire to return to this incredible site. With the right gear, I know I can make it.